Hey Justin,
Hi Chris.
nice to meet you.
And you?
How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. So welcome to the awesome interview series with awesome people for people who like to get inspired. And welcome again.
Awesome.
So Justin, introduce yourself just a little bit. Who are
Okay, my name is Justin. I'm 31 years old. I'm from the UK. Would you want to know whether what I've just done or what I'm going to do?
you? Exactly. What have you done professionally? How old are you? And just maybe some main information
I'm
for
a
the audience.
photographer. I've been in New Zealand for a year on a working holiday visa, and part of my travels was just to cycle around the South Island of New Zealand. Which was a bit of a strange idea, but I didn't want to do what everyone else did and buy a car, so I just did something spur of the moment, bought a bike, and that was it. I was off.
Exactly, and that's the reason why he's here, because he's absolutely awesome. Just deciding doing a little trip here with his bike around the South Island of New Zealand, and I prepared a few questions just to know how that was. So. How was it? You just came back, is that right?
I came back. I've been in Wellington for a week. I don't know whether you want to mention that I've been drinking for 3 days.
Of course you can.
I needed to, got to put your fluids back at the end of it. I've just been cycling around New Zealand for a month. Yeah, just got back. I started in Auckland, cycled down to New Plymouth, and then got a bus from New Plymouth down to Wellington.
Yeah.
And then from Picton, which is right at the top, I cycled all the way down the west coast, all the way to the bottom, took the picture, and then cycled back up the east coast.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many kilometers are we talking about? Just
in total, 2,732 approximately.
Yeah. Can wow. Can we hear that again, please?
2,732.
Wow, that's amazing.
In
Congratulations.
a month.
Well done. In a month.
I just thought I'd mention in a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was hard work. The first day was a nightmare. Well, it wasn't a nightmare to begin with, but after about 40 kilometres, I was finished. So I managed to find somewhere to camp for the day. And I fell asleep. I was just done, absolutely done. And then the next day, I had to get up and do it all over again, which was, I managed 70 kilometres the next day. And I thought the first day was hard. Second day was a nightmare, and then
But a little bit better.
But a little bit better. Yeah, I managed to get a bit further. And then the third day, it just, every day became the same. It was quite easy.
Yeah.
Not easy, but I didn't have any issues with. I had sore legs, but after 10k, they went away. Eventually, after about a week, I felt really strong, and nothing was wrong. Nothing.
Nice. That sounds good. I guess we're talking about creating habits. Once you've done a thing a few times, a few days, then your body and mind, especially your mind, is getting used to it.
Yeah, it was strange. It was kind of every day was a bit of a mental journey. Really, it was trying to motivate yourself to keep going and setting kind of small goals whilst you're doing it. I think that was the thing that I came across, was that you try and get 10 kilometres before you had a break, or you would find somewhere to have lunch and aim for that. And it was just those little things. And sometimes it was the thought of having a beer at the end of the day. And if I do an extra, you feel like you deserve something. And I think it was the achievement was a great thing. It was really nice to feel like you've done something every day, rather than, because I was passed by a lot of camper vans, and it was nice to see them all whizzing past, but you felt that at the end of the day you'd done something with the day, rather than just sat on your backside. I mean, I had sat on my backside, but my legs were spinning.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was good. It was yeah, it was definitely a journey in that sense.
Awesome.
Not just on a bike, but mentally.
Mentally as well.
Yeah.
Nicely said, Justin.
Thanks.
You mentioned so you were camping most of the time. How was it for you?
I love camping, so it was quite easy.
So do I.
It became my little home, really. Yeah, I felt. I don't know. I maybe became a bit too insular. You know. Because I ended up you spend 8 hours a day on your own on a bike.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird to meet people and chat to them. In the end, you kind of want to just keep going. But once I got in my tent, that was it. I was home. It was nice. And I had a book. I had a Kindle, so I read a lot. I read a book about cycling around the world. So it kind of made it all pale into insignificance after I read that book. Yeah.
It motivated you, definitely, I guess.
Oh, completely. Yeah, if someone can do that, then I can cycle a few thousand kilometres around New Zealand.
That's right.
Yeah, easy.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit what you've learned during the trip, or what was amazing, or was absolutely outstanding, maybe.
What I've learnt. That's a tough one to answer.
What have you learned, Justin?
Probably patience, a little bit of patience. I think I was quite driven every day to go a bit further. But then I think you realise that the speed that you do on a bike, you can't achieve as much as you would hope. It's kind of pointless. But then on the last day, I say that, it kind of all went out the window when I just wanted to be back, so I thought I'll put in a big day and ended up doing 200 kilometres.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've definitely learned to kind of overcome pain and a bit of suffering.
Yeah.
I think that's with cycling, is that you suffer, but I quite like it.
It's in a positive way.
In a positive way.
It's not too hard.
No, it's not too hard.
You want to inspire the people.
I do want to inspire people, but it gives you nothing comes easy, and you realise that that's what drives you. Is that you realise that this is a hard thing to do. Otherwise, everyone will be doing it. Yeah. And it's a nice feeling to have.
Yeah.
But I love the feeling of being on a bike, and the speed, and the feeling of the efficiency of the bike. The feeling that you put into it, you get it. It comes out of the bike.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, probably patience.
Patience, yeah. It's very important nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a bit of patience. I can't say I have it, but
no,
I definitely,
you got it.
I definitely want to be more patient. Yeah.
That's it. Personally, what I'm keen to know is how did you get this idea? Who told you, or when did you decide to do that?
I like to do things differently. I've always been a bit of an idiot in that respect. That if someone tells me to do something, I'll do the opposite. So yeah. And I think I bought a car because I wanted to initially travel around New Zealand by car. And then I thought, well, that's easy, everyone does that. I can't remember why I had the idea. I think I even had it in the UK before I came here. So well, it seems like a good idea. So I went and bought a bike and everything that I needed for it and put it in panniers and off I went. I had no idea how it would turn out or where I would get to, but
nice.
It was just an idea.
Sweet.
And I stuck with it. I think if you plant the idea to start with, it happens.
If you keep thinking of it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, I had it right at the beginning, so it was obviously somewhere in the background, and I followed it through.
No, I agree. If you have a fantastic idea and you think you want to do that, go for it. Yeah. Keep thinking of it, and it will. You get there someday, and plan step by step. This is really good.
No, I didn't really plan it.
You just did it.
I just did.
You just jumped on the bike.
Well, I mean, I had the plan to get there, but after that, it was all open, which was good.
Yeah. So that was not everything. You're planning another trip.
I am
in Europe.
Yeah, I don't know
Tell us about it.
I don't know where this idea came from either. Probably drunk somewhere.
Your English, no offense.
Oh, come on. I got the idea because I think I was looking up cycling around New Zealand and saw some information on cycle touring, like adventure cycle touring. And initially I thought, well, actually it came from the idea that I needed to get home, and I had already got a ticket home. But now I realised that I had a bike and some panniers, and I thought, oh, this could be quite a good way of getting home. Different, and didn't know how I would get home, or if I would get home. So I changed my ticket, and I initially wanted to cycle from Singapore to the UK, but I realised that the visas between Singapore and like Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, are going to cost me a fortune. So I went to the kind of nearest country that I could, which was Turkey. So I'm going to cycle from Turkey back to the UK.
Nice.
Don't know how,
Awesome.
or when. I don't have a time frame, which is better than, because cycling around New Zealand I had a time frame.
Yeah.
And I was kind of slogging it out a little bit, but this one should be a bit more relaxed. I doubt it. I'll be hammering out 200 kilometers a day probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, Justin, is that your biggest achievement in your life so far, or what is it?
Depends what you mean by achievement. I haven't done it yet, so I haven't achieved it. Achievement. I find that a really hard one to quantify, because I never really feel that I've achieved anything, because I feel like there's always more. There's more to do. I never settle.
Nice.
I think that's my reason for being. Really, I think there's always more to do. That is my achievement. Is constantly being satisfied with what you've done, but realising that you can always do something else.
So basically what you mean is the road to success is always under construction, because you keep building, you keep doing things, and
yeah, I found well, actually no, you say that, there was a point where I wanted a job in a certain place, and I left college without knowing where I was going to go or what I was going to do. And then I had this idea that I wanted to become a writer, and I studied horticulture, and I'll get to the point in a bit.
sure.
I realised that I wanted to be a writer, and the place I wanted to work was here. And I thought, okay, how can I get there? So I managed to get some work experience and blah blah blah, worked on a different magazine, went and worked on another magazine from work experience, and eventually I got to where I wanted, and that was for working for the BBC.
Yeah.
So that was probably my biggest achievement. Yeah.
Nice.
But then I had another one after that, was becoming a photographer. So.
And you got to that point as well.
Yeah, I've been doing the same kind of thing. Just
awesome.
Yeah, just by determination, I guess. I don't know. I've got no qualifications.
Okay, but it is your passion, and the passion drives you every day.
Yeah, that's what my editor, the BBC, said, that's the reason that they employed me, was because they saw that I wanted it, and I had the hunger for it.
Yeah, nice. Tell us about a time, Justin, when you were not successful, or stepping back, and how did you get out of it?
I don't think I can say I've got out of this situation, but I'll tell you the situation that I'm in, and I think this is what's brought me here. Sure. And that was the recession kind of ruined my photography business, so I decided to go travelling, because I'd never done it before. I just felt that it was something that would help me to change who I am. Something wasn't obviously working with the work that I was doing and the way that I was doing it, I'm sure the recession didn't help, but I moved back with my parents at the age of 28. No, 29. I worked and I went travelling, and I've been here 2 years. I've been travelling for 2 years, and now it's time to go back.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of discovering what I want and how to get there. I think this is what's brought me to this point. So that's why it wasn't going so well. And hopefully this will be that solution.
But the most important thing is still following his passion and looking good, very determined.
Yeah.
And, happy young man.
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, happier than I was a couple of years ago, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. You're definitely a person of excellence. If you're now on a stage, Justin, just imagine, and you need to inspire now those people out there, what would you tell them?
I would say follow your gut. That often leads you in the right direction. And I would say that if you want something, you can achieve it. There's always a different way to do it. There's never one direction. Certainly I think it's because I'm really stubborn that I like to do things my way. I don't like being told what to do. I'm basically a petulant child. If someone tells me something, I'm like, no. And I think if you want it enough, you can get it. I think that's nice.
Good. That sounds really good.
Cool.
Now, last chance. Anything else? Anything else you'd like to say before we?
Yeah, I think I remember watching an interview with. I think it was Michael Johnson. He said, "Do you have any advice for kids growing up?" And he said, "Yeah, keep it simple.
Keep it simple."
Yeah,
Okay.
I try and do that, and I think if you overcomplicate your life, it just becomes difficult.
Yeah. So keep it simple.
Keep it simple and enjoy the little things.
Okay, sweet. These are the last nice words from Justin. Thank you. Thank you so much for the interview.
No problem. Thank you
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Learned a lot from your trip and from your advice at the end. And
Thank you very much.
thanks again.
It's like therapy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.